Okay, I'm recording this now. And well, the first thing we have to do, we have to start working on grid 3. From grid 3 to grid 1. I select this 3D view, the front or the right view. And what is the first thing? The first thing is the waterproof layer. So I select this component model in place. I select the piping, and here, what can I use? Pipe fittings. I'm not railings, roofs, topography, floors. Well, I'm going to use pipe fittings. It's not the best option for a waterproof membrane, but I think we can use that. I will use extrusion, and the first waterproof membrane, first I have to set the plane. So I set this on grid 3. So I'm going to start here at the top of the wall, and I'm going this way, this way. You can find that some details will stop the waterproof membrane here. Some others will go to the bottom face of the foundation. Well, the more the better. So I'm going to do this. Then I will use the offset, and this membrane, it's very thin. I'm using 1/2 inch, but usually it's even thinner than this. And I'm going to create this offset. And then I will use the trim. And if we're working with this extrusion, make sure that everything is closed like this. And like trim. There you go. Then we click OK. And we have to extend this up to level up to grid 1 there. Okay, so we have protected all these, even we have protected the footings. Then we need the second waterproof layer. We need this drainage mat. Okay, so we are going to create another waterproof layer on this view. And yeah, let's create, well, finish the model. And now we're going to create another component model in place. Pipe fittings. And extrusion again. Set grid 3. And I can create another one. But in this case, well, I have changed my mind. I want to discard this, cancel the model, because first I'm going to create this place in which the drain, we have to fix the drain. We cannot have the drain floating here in the middle of the soil. I think it's always better if we create this element, pipe fittings. Okay, I'm going to create this one, this element, to fit the pipe there. So I create extrusion, I set this at grid 3, and I start drawing this. This is something like that, up to the midpoint. Well, I'm going to create auxiliary lines, and then I will delete them. There you go. And now I'm going to create a circle. And the diameter of this circle is the diameter of the pipe. I think 6 inches, it's good. Okay. And now I do this, I close this, and I have to delete this one, and I have to trim this by the way. And then I have to go this way. I have to trim this. There you go. Okay, we have this shape here, and then we will place the drain on this circle. So we finish, and we will drag it. We will drag. Coño, pasa. Okay. We drag this way. Okay, so this is the second. First, we have the waterproof layer, finish model. First, we have this waterproof layer. Second, we have this element to place the drain. And then the third element will be the second waterproof, because that goes underneath this element, and I want the second waterproof layer to go up or above this element. Why? Well, because first the water will be led to this element here, and finally, if something goes wrong, we have the second water barrier here. So now I'm going to go to architecture, modeling place again. This is the pipe fitting. Extrusion, set the plane at grid 3. And let's create the second waterproof layer that goes from this point to that point. And now we use the offset here. Make sure that you close this element here and there. And make sure that we trim here. We click finish, and we extend this to the corner. Well, we have to go around the corner, and we have to wrap the basement with all these layers. Okay, I'm doing this because I'm going to show this section view, and in this section view, as you can see, everything I'm doing, it's here. But it doesn't mean that we only have to do 2 grid lines. We have to wrap all this building with the same elements. I think in order to visualize this, I'm using the shaded. I'm going to use graphic display options, and I'm going to make the ambient light stronger and the shadows lighter. Okay, that's better. And just to realize what we are doing, I think we can work with different elements here. Okay, so now we can see that this is the first waterproof layer. This is the second waterproof layer. This is the channel in which I will place the drain. So this is the next thing I'm going to do. I'm going to place the drain. Well, we have the circle here, so we only have to go to architecture, component, model in place, pipes, and extrusion, set, grid 3. I think that by repeating this 3,000 or 4,000 of times, you will end up internalizing it. And now we have to find the center of this element. If we don't, we have this auxiliary line. And now I can create a circle here with this center and this radius. And then I get rid of this. Finish. And there you go. What's next? Well, we have all these elements, the waterproof, the channel, the drain, and now we have this, yeah, I would fill these with aggregates, because the good thing if aggregates, they are rocks or they are stones, and there are spaces between two different stones so that the water can filter and can be led to where I want it to be led. So it's filtered and it ends up in this drain, and this drain has perforation so that the water is coming here, and we have, I don't know if we can see that yet. So you see that this drain is perforated so that all the water that comes ends up inside the drain, and then the water goes away in the sewer system. So now we have to do this on this section. No, this one. I can use another component, model in place. Well, this is topography because we are working with soil now. So this is not a piping fixture. It doesn't have anything to do with pipes. So I will use the topography. And I'm going to use extrusion, set grid 3, and start drawing this. To this point, that point. To create the circle, we can use the what can we use? Well, we can go down here, and then I can use the 3 start, end, and radius arc. So I can use this option. This is the start, this is the end, this is the radius. And now I can continue with my line here. And finally, we have like a tilt, so it's not straight. So usually we have this. And we need to slope outwards. Okay, so we can finalize this here, and we can. So that slope is the first. If water drops here, we can get rid of it in this direction. Okay, and now the same. I have to drag this in this direction. And here I see everything. And finally, I need the compact soil. So I can go to this view. And I need another element, topography as well. Extrusion, set with 3. And line set at grid 3. So I can start here. There you go. Huh? Closed loops. Oh, I have to trim this and this. Now it is a closed loop. And now I have to drag this here and there. I can change the color of this to make a difference between this soil and, well, finish model and this one. So I'm going to override graphics. I will use the background, solid fill, color. This is too similar to this one. Well, when in doubt, use a grayish thing. Okay. And for these two layers, probably we can use something darker here by element. Well, doesn't work. Okay, so on this section that we have already created, the problem is that yeah, we have to do this in each different. So we have to override graphics in view, and we have to do this color background. Override graphics. It's in foreground and the background and the cut patterns, the background. Solid fill. Oh, probably it doesn't change because this is locked. No, I don't know. Okay, it's not relevant now, changing the colors, because I want to move on and I want to show you how to create the wall here. Okay, so make sure that we have these elements. We have the same elements here. I think we can always make this lighter.
Hi, Fernando, I have a question.
Yep.
When I tried to change the dirt to brown, only the lines turned brown. I don't know if I missed that. Could you go over that again?
Well, this is what I'm trying to do, and apparently it works in this. Okay, so if you want to select the soil here, override graphics in view, element, and we have all these things. That we have the surface, the background. This is the surface pattern, and then we have the cut pattern. I think in this case everything is surface because we are not cutting everything. So the cut lines or the cut patterns is for sections. We are not working in a section here, so I think we should work with the surface pattern. So if we're working with this and we change the color, I'm going to do something crazy here to see if it works. It doesn't work. Why? This is the surface. I'm going to do the same thing with the background. Oh, because I don't have the solid color. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Okay, so I think it works with everything that has to do with the surface. I don't think it's the foreground. I think it's the background. So let me see. Yeah, so it's the background what matters. So I'm going to try this again here. If I select this, I override in view. I don't want to change this. I want to change the solid fill. Okay, it works now. Is this what you wanted to know, or is there anything else that you want to ask?
Yep, I think it's well set.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, sometimes this is make sure that it's if you want to change the color, make sure that it's always a solid fill. And if you're working with this architecture component by extrusion, if it's not a section, I think you have to work with the surface pattern. If you are working with a section, then you have to work with the cut patterns. Anyway, if you want everything to be the same, just change to the same color all these 4 components, and eventually it will work. Okay. Okay, so now we have this. In this 3D view, we have the same. The good thing of this detail is that you can, every time you have a basement, you can use the same elements. So you don't have to think about it. Double waterproof layer, this channel for the drain, and aggregates and soil here, or dirt, or whatever. Now I want you to, or I want to explain how to work with this wall. And I'm going to do something different. We have these walls here. So this is a basketball court. I'm doing this because I don't want, well, we created this sawtooth roof because we didn't want southern light. Okay, so imagine that this is the north, and when we're working basketball, or we're playing in a basketball court, we don't want sun directly hitting on our face. It doesn't make any sense. So that's why we need northern light. If we want to open windows, we would have the same issue. We need natural light. It's fine having natural light, but we need to work with northern light. So we have to open windows facing this direction, imagining that this is north. And this is what I want to do now. I want to open windows, but facing north. If this is, well, I think we can change the true north. If we are working with this, and if we're working with the sun path on, okay, now this is south, this is west, and this is east, but I want to orient all these windows to the north. So I can either rotate the building, or I can rotate the true north. I think I showed you how to work with this. If we are at level 0, we select the sun path. And here we have the project north. I don't think we have this. No, we don't have this in the 3D view. So you have to do it from the plan. This is the project north here. And we have to change this to true north. If we change this to true north, then we have to go to view. No, to manage, sorry. And here, yeah, so here we have rotate true north. Okay, so it's in manage tab. Here we have position, rotate true north. If we want to rotate true north, we can place the center of rotation. So the center of rotation will be this center. And then we have to rotate this 90 degrees. So we want the north to be here. No, I think it's just the other way around. So we have to rotate true north, and now we can rotate it 180. Yeah, I think now it works. So this is facing north, and when we are doing this, we can work with project north. And there you go. So now this is north, south, east, and west. And if we go back to the 3D view, now the curtain walls are north oriented. Okay, so basically when we are having this or we're watching or playing this game, we don't want the sun to come from here. So that's why we are going to orient all the windows or all the openings to the north. So we did this with the roof. Well, you can do something here. This opening is too small, so probably it's not a big issue. Or we will have this issue only in the morning, and assuming that all the matches are in the evening, I don't know. But anyway, if we want to prevent this from, yeah, because we have small openings here, so this shouldn't be an issue. The openings that we have on this west facade now. That I want to, if this natural light is not enough, I want to bring some light from here so I can open windows to the north. It doesn't matter. So you can copy these walls here to the north. That's up to you. But even if you want to open this in the eastern facade, how would I do it? Well, I'm going to use a double skin. So the double skin facade is a facade or an envelope that has different layers. Usually we have elements like this. We have the glass, and then we have something protecting the glass. So it can be a shading device. So it's always the same concept. Okay, so we have a space between the envelope itself and something protecting the envelope. It's something that is effective, especially if we have a curtain wall, then we can have another layer to protect the curtain wall from the sun. This is what we're going to do now. We're going to have a curtain wall, and we can use with patterns. In Dubai, all the buildings, all the skyscraper, they had the first the curtain wall here, and then they had this Islamic pattern, and well, it was nice. Why not? That this is the concept of a double skin. So we have the curtain wall, and then we have to protect the curtain wall so that we have this element to provide shade to this curtain wall. It's quite expensive, but it's effective from the energy point of view. Anyway, you have a lot of examples. And again, what do I want to do? So I always copy different things. Okay, so that's the idea. I have the curtain wall, and then I have a double skin to protect that curtain wall, that curtain wall. And what do I want to copy? So I want to copy something that I know. And what do I know? Well, I know Madrid. In Madrid, there's a very nice building, which is the Edificio Girasol, which is a sunflower building. It has a cool name. And well, this is the building itself. So it's in the, well, it's a typical, it's in this, it's downtown in the city center. And I like this, well, I like the idea because it's a very, this is a very narrow street, and the south elevation, in this case, he wanted to open the building to the south. Now we want to open the building to the north because this is a residential building, and we are working with a basketball with sports facility, and we are opening windows to the north. In this case, they wanted to open the windows to the south, and they didn't have south because this is west. This orientation is west, and it's a very narrow street, so it didn't have light. By opening all these residential elements to the south, they gain natural light, solar heat gains, so it's a good option. But if you look at this building from the other side, it's like this. So he's using like these waves or these sails, and the openings are facing south and facing north. We have almost an opaque building. Okay, so this is the building facing south, and these are the elements. You can see that we have like these waves. Okay, and looking at the building from the other side, yeah, we have this picture. So it's a good solution. So I'm going to copy this solution because I want, in this case, I want to open my windows to the north. And I'm going to use this as a double skin facade. Yeah, and this is the plan. So in the plan, that's the idea. So we open the house to the south. This is the south, and we close the house to the north. In this sport facility is the other way around. I want to open this to the north and close it to the south because I don't want glare or natural light in the court, or natural sunlight in the court. Okay, so that's the idea, and this is what I'm going to do. So first, I want to create a curtain wall here, and I'm going to create a curtain wall. Well, if this is a sports facility, it doesn't make any sense having glass or yeah, starting the curtain wall here on the first floor. So I'm going to start it on the second floor. So for this first floor, I'm going to use the same wall that I've already created. So I'm going to level 0, and I can use the wall, this one, the wall 1, and I'm going to start here. Remember, okay, this is the, I have to flip this. So by pressing the space bar, there you go, because now this is the air layer, thermal insulation, concrete masonry unit, thermal insulation, and the gypsum board or the plywood or whatever. Remember that we wanted to do this, okay? And then I drag it here. This is not well, by the way. We will fix this probably on Thursday. We will fix this. We will have a call out to solve this plan and how to protect, how we protect this steel structure from thermal issues, fire issues. Okay, so we will protect this. But now just copy this multiple times. Here in this section. And well, we have to fix this. You see that now this element, the concrete block is yeah, is intersecting here. So we can always divide this in parts, and we can select this. We can show the shape handles, and we can move it down. Okay, so that we don't have that intersection. So there's another element here intersecting. We can show the handles here, and we can move it down. Yeah, so this steel element is like in a box, and then we can use, because this is a steel structure, we can use a fire fire protection element to protect this structural element from fire, that it's something relevant. We will expose this to the, we'll expose the steel structure to the outside. Outside, we don't have risks of fire. The risks of fire are inside. So we have to protect this from inside. We will do this. Okay, but yeah, so far we can start with this. And now I want to create a curtain wall from this level to the roof level. And then I have to work with this shape here. I can open level 12. And on level 12, I'm going to, yeah, because here I have a lot of issues with, well, a lot of lines with this. So I'm going to start here between these two axes, and I'm going to create a storefront or a curtain wall, and I'll start, let's say here, and I'll finish in this axis. It has a thickness, and I just want to select. Be careful when you are working with the curtain walls. Sometimes you select only this pane, or sometimes you select only this mullion. So you have to make sure that you select the whole curtain wall. If you can, use a window and make sure that everything is selected, because I want to move this close, remove constraint. I want to move this close to, does align work? No, doesn't. If it doesn't work in plan, it might work in the 3D view. Move. No, it's not working. Okay, with this, we make sure that we have selected the whole curtain wall. Now on level 12, can we move it? Yes, now we can. So I think you have to make sure that you, because if you don't select all the elements, you can't move part of the element. So you have to make sure that you select here on the 3D that you have selected the whole curtain wall, and then you can use the plan view to move it. Okay, on the 3D, that goes up to that level, up to level maybe 41. Yeah. And now on this front view, I can edit profile, and I can adjust the curtain wall to this roof. So I want to adjust to the roof that I created, this line. Okay, and now I can trim. Here and there. Yep, I think it's correct. We click finish, and yep, it's in the right place. As you can see, we have a weird connection here. So I will fix this by selecting the roof itself and going beyond that level. So now this connection between the roof and the curtain wall is protected. You see? But when we are working with this section, we will figure it out. So far, I think we can leave it like this. Okay, so now I have fixed this element. Now I have an envelope, but it's not protected against the sun, because in the morning, if we go to sun settings, morning, 9 a.m. Okay, we have this curtain wall here. There will be plenty of, okay, so this is not acceptable for a basketball court. We cannot play basketball with this, with all these lights and shadows. That would, so that's nice, but in other buildings, okay, so we cannot afford having a sports facility because this is, it bothers you when you try to do something or to try to practice the sport, okay? So this is what happens in the morning. And how can we prevent this from happening? we can use the double skin. And this is what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to go to level 12, and I want to protect this with this idea, with the sunflower building idea, like something like this. So I want to create something like that. First, I think in architecture walls, what kind of walls do we have? I created this one, but we don't have in roofs. I remember, where's the roof here? Okay, I remember that we created this sawtooth roof with this structure, the rigid insulation, aluminum and aluminum. Okay, we have to do something like this, but with a wall. So let's create a wall. Yes. So let's create a wall. We can start with a generic one, and now we can edit type and duplicate, and that will be basketball court wall 2. Wall 2. We edit the structure. This will be thermal. We can work with the rigid insulation here. 6 inches, I think will work fine. Then we have the aluminum. We have to insert, we have to move it up. That will be finish. That will be aluminum. The thickness, it's something can be even 0.25 inches if it accepts. Yeah, it accepts this. And now we have to insert the last layer, move it down. This is another finish made of aluminum. And we can make it 0.25. Okay. Let me check. Yep. Okay. And now we have this basketball court wall number 2. And I want to protect this. So I can start this wall from this point. I want to cover the steel structure, and I want to cover the curtain wall. So I can start here. Oh, by the way, I'm not watching this because I'm working with a structural discipline. So to see the wall, I have to work with the architectural one. Okay, so let's do it again. Wall, it's basketball. So I can start here, and now I see the wall. And I'm going to use this tangent and arc. Okay, so if we create a wave, we want a soft transition between the straight and the curve. So if we use this option, it will work well. And now we have a straight element like this. We can move it. I'll make it, yeah. So let's align it with this face of the structure, not with the axis. And then we can move it slightly here. So the closer to the curtain wall, the better. But then we need, this is floating now. We have to figure out how to hold this element, but we will explain that on Thursday. I want to show you today, yeah, so this is it. And now we have to select, and the top constraint is level 36. Yeah, it can be level 36. Okay, so now it creates shade on the court. If we repeat this in all the openings, we won't have any sunlight, direct sunlight entering the building. So let's do it on level 12. Now I can, well, I want to select the curtain wall. I want to make sure that I have selected everything. And I want to select the wall here. And now on level 12, I copy multiple times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And now in the 3D view, we see that the court is, it doesn't have any light. Well, we have lights here. Yeah, that will happen at 9 a.m. But probably at 11 a.m. it doesn't happen anymore. We have to close this, of course. This is the south elevation, so we have to close all these openings here. But because we don't have any solar gains in this facade, and it has a nice view because when we look at this, we see like it's a curtain wall. But if we look at the building from this perspective, it seems that it's a blind wall here. Well, I like it, so that's why I'm doing it. Okay, so this is now you have to. This is up to you. The way you close the north and the south facades, it's up to you. You can use the same wall we have used for the first floor, or you can use a different option. That's up to you. Whatever you don't go crazy. And now the axonometric section. Yeah, we have all the elements here. We see the wall. We see all these elements protecting the basement. We see the curtain walls. We see the curtain wall here, another curtain wall there. All the layers that we have in the roof. Okay, so this is more or less the same thing we have here. Now you can work with the visibility graphics. You can try a render. You can try the realistic. I'm not very fond of Revit, so I would use a shaded one. And probably the shadows. Can we cast shadows? I think casting shadows is not good for this case. Okay, and then we will have to fix this because we have to fix all these materials. There's something we can do from the material point of view. If you select a wall and we edit the type, so here for the rigid insulation, for example, we can always use the color. Here we have the appearance, and if this is the color, we can use the same color that we have used for the thermal insulation, 250, 250, and 100. Apply. And now all these elements in the views will have this color for the thermal insulation. Okay, so we want the thermal insulation always be yellowish. We can do that. If we don't want to see the this hatch here, then we have to go to override graphics. Probably if we do this by category, and if we don't want the surface pattern or the cut pattern, because this is cut, apply, okay. Yep, but we have to do it one by one. I don't know why. Anyway, I think this is good enough, as long as we can see that we have a section through the thermal insulation and we have a different color here. And yeah, I think this is good enough. And at last, but not least, I want to create the sheet with the title block. Okay, so I want you to create the axonometric view here, the section, and the callouts. And I want you to use this family. Okay, so you have to use this 30 by 44 by 42, sorry, horizontal, 30 by 42. I think everything fits with the right scale in this paper. So how can we do it? We are on this, and now we create a new sheet. We don't have this, we have to load. Remember that we have to go to title blocks. So it's this 30 by 42. If you don't have it, well, I think you all should have these options. If you don't have it, let me know and I will send you this. I will send you this template, but I want you to change the template. We have to edit the family, and we always want to keep the project name, the sheet name, and probably this number. Okay, so we can move it outside, and the rest we can get rid of it. So keep this because you have to design your title block. We can load this into project. Check the open, this one. Override the existing version. Yeah, there you go. So with this one, then you can use this. Now you can edit this name. So you can type this, I don't know, section and whatever. The project name is basketball, whatever. And this is the sheet number. It can be A101, A102, depends. You don't have to make a decision about the design, but make sure that you have this. And when you make a decision about your title block, you can always edit this, create a wonderful block here in which you can place your name and your everything. Do you want to save, cancel? And on this one, you have to insert all the things that we have already done. Section 2 and this axonometric section. And to make sure that it fits here, I think the section should be at this scale, 3/8. So I'm going to open section 2, and this has to be 3/8. Okay. I don't want to see the reference planes here in this section, so we can hide this category. Do we want to see the levels? I'm not sure. Okay, let's see how it works. Make sure that this is within the drawing limits. And do we want to see the crop region? What do you think? Well, I don't know. It's up to you. I wouldn't see the crop region. And I'm going to use the A101 and I'm going to insert section 2. Okay, it fits well. I want to insert the section. What scale is the section? The Axon, it's 3/8 as well. Okay, so we can work with this. Make sure that this is 3/8. And we can insert this here. And then there are small details that make the difference. So make sure that everything is aligned. Okay, so if all these titles are aligned, that will look better. And finally, we need to place the callouts. So we are not going to work on the callouts today. So I just want you to, what is the scale of the callouts? It's 3, 1 foot. So I want to work with section 2. And we need a callout here and another callout there. So let's create this view callout. We want one here. And then we copy there. Okay. And on this, now we have to open the callout 1. The scale is 3:1. Make sure that this is within the limits. Here, I don't think we need the levels. This is callout number 1, callout number 2. Make sure we have the same scale. I don't want the levels. And we can place the callouts here and there. Again, make sure that they are aligned. This is important because we are looking at the same line. If we have something like this, it's not clear at all. Because this element is the same line. So that's important. Make sure that they are aligned this way. Well, that is that looks like a construction document, and we are giving a lot of information here. So we have here in this section, we will place text and we will name everything we have here. And then we have a section of this sawtooth roof. And here we have the most relevant elements, which are the callouts. When I was looking at Olivia's file, this is the thing that we have to fix here in the callout. So if this connection is, so probably we will need to move this beam system to make sure that it fits perfectly on this element here, both at the top and at the bottom. Okay, but when we have this section and we see what happens here, then we will have to fix it. Otherwise, okay, so first try to do this call out, show me what you have, and then I will help you fix it. We are not done with this. We have to work with elements here. This is the curtain wall, but this detail is not good enough. So on Thursday, we will keep on working on that. We need to place text here to name all these parts. But this is the beginning of a good set of construction documents. What else we need? We need another section. Then we will have callouts to solve this transition between this weird wall that we have here, the curtain wall and the roof. So there will be a section here. And then in that section, from the top to the basement, we will define all these elements as well.